Read my lips. No new taxes.
I don't think it's worth fighting for, and I don't think we can get out. And it's just the biggest damn mess. It is. It's an awful mess.
Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
All of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. Well, I'm not a crook.
That the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
The United States is in a point of political turmoil. Neither the left nor the right is willing to compromise on their ideals or their political ideology. So how does an American choose which party to support? It's simple. You either choose the side that promises more or the side that is less extreme. Or you can vote for the Greater American Wealth Party, the G.A.W. No longer do you have to choose between the private sector or the public sector. You can choose a balanced option. The U.S. is suffering from poverty, a political divide, and many issues that make the U.S. resemble its very oppressor we fought to escape only 250 years ago, Great Britain. And who do we have to thank for that? Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton. Those two men would forever change the history of the world. Two juggernauts of politics. Two people George Washington had in his cabinet. Two people who would ruin the U.S. Let's start with the fact that George Washington was a man who was holding the two bickering men back. But eventually Washington had to give up his presidency, and it was time for the two men to duel. Adams with Hamilton, Jefferson for himself. This would split the nation. Why do we celebrate the men who ruined this country? We can see that it's these parties that time and time again have ruined the U.S. American politics is a pendulum. It swings in support and against both parties. We saw it when Coolidge oversaw economic success and people loved the Republicans. Then Hoover came and ruined it, and we went into economic decline. Later on, Jimmy Carter lost to Ronald Reagan, not because he was a bad president, but because the Democrats' presidency was bad. This swinging from party to party causes many good candidates to fail simply because they are on the wrong side of the pendulum. We are still seeing the effects of these two men. They created two major support groups to get their people elected. Now we see elections that are essentially a dictatorship, a two-party state. You have to accept the faults of the person you support. But we plan on destroying the status quo. We plan on taking control of the pendulum of sorts. We plan on forming a broader coalition, not to get our party into the presidency, but to destroy the other two parties. Then from there we will slowly dismantle our own party, allowing for what many people consider the best presidential beliefs. Today's left and right offer two flawed visions. One stands for government control, the other for corporate control. One workerships bureaucracy, the other wealth. In their extremes, it's communism versus capitalism, but most Americans fall somewhere in between. Most want a minimum wage, but the chance to start their own businesses. Most want Medicare to fall back on and the freedom to buy stock and invest. Our plan is to give companies more control over their decisions, how they want to expand, but we also want to ensure that all Americans are able to pay for themselves and their families. As previously said, the current status quo is one way to ensure that a balance is struck. But why choose sides when you can choose people and what they stand for? The G.A.W. doesn't work for themselves or their next term. They don't work for popularity with the people. They don't work for the financial backing of corporations. The G.A.W. just wants to see companies grow while workers thrive. If you want to see workers thrive, companies expand, good politicians succeed instead of going to waste because of who they support, and a demolishing of the failing parties, you have a chance, maybe your only chance, to save your country. Save it from bribery, scandals, prestige loss, and help establish the beacon of democracy we were once before. That's why the G.A.W. is proud to announce that they are preparing for the 2028 election. If you want to support the G.A.W., you can do many things. You can subscribe, comment, and like if money is tight. Or you can go to www.supportthegaw.com. If you want to go above and beyond, you can join the G.A.W. by sending an email to phil.w2001@gmail.com. But if all that's not enough, I will be leaving a Google survey down below to become a member of the cabinet.